Namaste. So if you haven't been here before, I'll just tell you how I do it. I think most people have been here before. So I normally do an introduction, and then after the introduction I open it to questions and answers. So you're welcome to sit here and ask a question. Just be aware if you bend forward you will be in the video. It is being recorded. And your audio will be recorded. Your face won't, but your audio will if you bend forward. So there's the camera on this side of the phone. So does anyone have a topic in which they would like me to talk about today?
Purpose of life.
The purpose of life. Okay. So it's so interesting, this concept, like the purpose of life. If you struggle to hear me, just say, and I'll put the microphone on. So, that's such an interesting concept, the purpose of life. So, in a more Christian culture, which I grew up in, the purpose of life was to be a good person, to get into heaven. And that's interesting one, isn't it? Be a good person to get into heaven when you die. And I think still a lot of people on the planet believe that. Like even maybe a lot of people in the United Kingdom believe that you have to be good person. And it's something that you can ponder endlessly. It's a bit like the sound of one hand clapping. Like what is the sound? Or if a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? Like, what could possibly be the purpose of this life? So goodness is like what a lot of people agree on, is that we've got to be good, and that's the answer. So we've got to be good and do good things, and that's the purpose of life. And that's difficult, because to be good, I mean, that's a subjective thing as to what people believe. And then in order for these bodies to stay alive, we have to consume things, and that inherently, like, maybe questions our goodness, like by the fact that we have to eat something. Yeah. But I don't know about the goodness thing. That's I put that aside. That's just what a lot of people believe. For me, yeah, I put that aside. So in non-duality, the way that I was taught purpose of life is to find yourself again. So the purpose is to find yourself. In amongst all these things, you've got to find yourself. And that's actually a funny concept as well, to find yourself. So most people think that finding themselves is like something about their personality structure. So they've got to find themselves, as in they've got to find out who they are as a person. You know, are they that good person which will go to heaven? Are they a bad person? They've got to work out what they want to do with this life. Like, you've got to discover your purpose on this planet, which could be saving chickens or whatever that might be. But in non-duality, it doesn't mean that. It says that the purpose is to find yourself beyond the phenomenal world, so beyond what happens in this world. So that's really quite a mission, to find yourself beyond anything that appears. Because how could you find something that doesn't exist? Because if it's beyond this world, if it's beyond anything that appears in this world, then it doesn't exist as a thing. It doesn't exist in this world. So that's a very interesting path. But yet there seems to be a good amount of us attracted to this path of non-duality, to find ourselves. In Buddhism, I was taught that you have to find yourself so you're not reborn into this world again. So you have to get to nirvana, you have to stop being reborn. So it's like the end of this life, or the end of this world. So you have to stop this appearance by finding yourself. So you have to kind of stop the dream. You have to stop the appearances. And the way that I was taught it was that you had to go through these stages. So the first thing that you had to recognize is that life is inherently suffering. And that's like quite a big pill to swallow, that life is inherently suffering. Because most people are trying to make a good life and like trying to find something in life which will complete them. And then Buddhism asks you to recognize that life is suffering. That sounds so depressing, that life is suffering. And from what I could understand, the reason that they asked you to recognize this was so you would be prepared to let this life go. You know, if you still think that there is something in this life that can possibly complete you, then you're not prepared to let it go. You'll still be trying to look for yourself and for things in existence. That's a really full-on teaching. It's really like a tough one to contemplate because it can lead to depressive thoughts. It's not meant to lead to depressive thoughts, but it can lead to depressive thoughts. To recognize that there is nothing in this life which will complete you, which will give you what you're looking for, which will fulfill you, a thing in which you will find yourself. You will not find yourself in things. This is the great illusion. And this world is like interesting because it's so glittery. There's so many possible avenues you could go down. And it's such an amazing setup because it gives us apparent choice. So we have this apparent choice to choose and find things that will make us happy. And when I say things, I mean a life, like an existence, a path, not just things as in like a phone. I mean like everything. Like whether you decide to go traveling the world or decide to buy a hotel or live in a tent for the rest of your life. Like it's always at every avenue saying choose. And choose wisely because your happiness will be dependent on what you choose. If you choose the wrong partner, if you choose the wrong home, if you choose the wrong country, the wrong tax system, the wrong whatever, you will suffer. That's what it's saying. It's so intense, this dream. Like every second you've got to choose. What drink do you want? What box of tissues? What flowers do you want? What carpet do you want? What phone do you want? You go in the supermarket and then it's like, they could just at least give us like a little bit of a break and give us like 2 toothpaste brands to pick out of. But I don't know Indian shopping so well, but in the West it's like maybe like 50 toothpastes that you could possibly pick from. One with mint, one without mint, one without fluoride. I mean, it just goes on. And then you've got Sensodyne, non-Sensodyne, like all types of things. Like everything is a choice. Like what clothes are you going to wear? What person are you going to be? Like these constant choices. And then it's saying if you don't choose correctly, you're going to be unhappy and you're going to suffer. What an intense dream this is. And then we've got this apparent future and apparent past, and we think that's normal and that's just the way that life is, but it doesn't have to be that way. There could be like other universes with there could be other universes with like 4 different futures and 4 different pasts simultaneously going on, and our brains like are really big and can like cope with these 4 different dimensions. There could be all types of things happening. There could be all types of worlds and realities that could appear. So we have this like apparent future and this past that we've learnt from, and this future we're going to go to. But the crazy part about the idea of past and future is that they never exist. We never arrive at the future and we never have the past. So like these invisible things which are apparently living in between. We're sandwiched in between this future and past which we can never get. Even with photographs, the photographs or videos always appear here. So we've got this really funky reality where we're existing in this apparent timeline that never really exists because we're only ever in the present moment. And we always have to choose for this apparent future that never really exists. And if we don't choose correctly, then we'll be unhappy. What a funky dream it is. It's funky. And so Buddhism then is quite a nice option when it says, okay, well, life is suffering and you've got to find your way out of this life. But you've got to be ready. Until you're ready to accept this about life, you'll still play with things. It's like until you're ready to give up toys, you're not ready. It's like my parents made me give up. Well, no, they didn't really make me give them up. Maybe my friends more made me give up my toys. Like I didn't really want to give them up, but it was like, okay, you're like 11 now, you really have to stop playing with toys. And I was like, oh, it wasn't, you have to naturally want to give up the toys or give up the glitter. And then you will get out of this dream. Only then. And isn't that crazy that that's what the purpose is? I mean, I'm just suggesting that's the purpose, because in the end I don't know anything. I'm just a here. So it's just a suggestion and the words will disappear into the here. But the suggestion is there has to be a real readiness to give up things. And when you give up things, then you will get out of the dream. Because then you will discover what you truly are, right now, right here. Only then. Well, you still want things, this world will appear. So Nisargadatta Maharaj said, when he got asked, why does this world appear? He always said, because of desire. Always, because of desire. I wouldn't say desire, because my teacher used the words differently. I would say seeking. Buddhists would say craving. But the world appears because you desire, because there is desire. And he talked about rebirth and said that rebirth would happen because of desire. So this whole world forms because of desire. So back to the purpose. Maybe the purpose is dependent on where you stand in this non-existent dream that doesn't really have a future and a past, but seems to. The purpose is to get out. I can see why Christianity is so successful, though. Being a good person to get to heaven could be a bit more juicy. To get out, you kind of got to go through a heartbreak. There is another way that non-duality teaches this, actually. And I'm going to give you that teaching as well. With the disclaimer that I don't believe any of it. Like, I don't believe any of it. Yeah. Yeah. So the other way in which non-duality teaches this is that life wants to fall in love with itself again. Yeah. So life wants to recognize itself again. So the other way it's taught is that separation happens in order to find itself again. To go home, really. It's the same thing in the end. Just the second one is more appealing, I think, just to the masses. But not that appealing, but more appealing, I think. Yeah. So the purpose of life, Ilango, is to wake up. Yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah, if anyone wants to ask some questions, you're welcome. Okay, Alanga, you can go first today. I'm always saying no, no, no.
Can you come into the camera?
You're coming in?
Yeah. I've never been in the...
You've never been in the camera? It might just be a bit of a side view.
I'm there?
But now you are in camera.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just change.
I'm not in the camera.
And now it's
Okay.
I think it's been moved. Is it?
moved. Oh.
It moved very sad actually a little bit because he kind of moved the floor.
I moved the cloth, huh? Okay. When I sat down.
That's what happens when you wake up. You could just
You
move the
disappear.
floor, like recreate a floor.
You said wake up
Yeah,
is the reason, that's the purpose of life, to wake up.
yeah.
And initially you said give up, as you started the talk. How do I do that?
It's all about desire, Alango.
I am programmed for it, my DNA, 70 trillion cells in my body is programmed only for that.
Yeah. Well,
You are asking me to do something unnatural, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. So there's natural desire. So my teacher used to distinguish between desire and seeking, but then Nisargadatta just calls it all desire. So you've got natural desire and then you've got seeking desire. And seeking desire is where you believe that you will find yourself or you will wake up through the obtaining of things.
No, I don't think like that. I get desire to be happy, very simple. I want this toy, I want lots of toys. Seeking doesn't come into that, and I don't feel that if I get an iPhone, I'll be complete. No, I don't feel like that.
Yeah, you do though.
Uh-huh.
But you just don't notice it.
No, suppose I want to eat something, I take honey, that's because my senses are fulfilled. There is no completion in Ilango. Ilango doesn't think about completion.
Yeah.
He wants to eat honey, he wants to drink coffee for the sake of the pleasure which is given to him, like an animal.
Yeah.
I don't look at that as
I
seeking.
think you just don't notice it. You just haven't. It's maybe not in the eating of the honey, but have you ever eaten food where it's like the most bland food in the world and it's as tasty as...
When you're sick, you have a fever, they give you gruel. It's nice. You like that?
No, but yeah, I don't know if I've experienced that, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter the taste of your food. Obviously you don't want it like a cow turd, we've got things that we eat and we don't eat, like we don't tend to eat the flowers, but flowers can be tasty, but it's not so important. Most of it's seeking, but we just don't realize it. When you go into a room, I assure you that you're creating a Lango that wants to be loved or wants to get his way.
No, I look at it like Ilongo wants to be a pleasure animal.
Yeah.
Once you in your book said you can't have infinite orgasm,
Yeah.
But an enlightened person is sort of on that situation in Ananda.
There is a lot of ecstasy and joy.
Correct.
In
So the
being
human
free.
being, even as a seeker, wants that.
But it's not a permanent thing. But going back to the seeking thing, you just don't notice it. So when you come into this room, I would say maybe one of Alango's seeking is... it might be a bit painful, but I don't know.
Yeah, tell me.
It could
I'm
be,
here for that, right?
It could be one of the seekings is that you would like to get your way. So what is happening in a very unconscious way is your mind is quickly going around how to get its way, and it's not a conscious thing, it's an unconscious thing. It's an energy in the body that believes if it doesn't get its way, something will be taken from it, and it's a very
It's a survival instinct of a lion, no? Is a place safe?
No,
for me to sit
the
down?
very small version of it is a survival instinct. The added on is the
Pleasure.
seeking.
You're equating pleasure with seeking.
Which is creating an identity.
Pleasure, sort of. I'm more towards pleasure. I don't want 3 meals a day. I want, the best of everything.
Yeah.
And I want to up the antenna, increase the pleasure part.
Oh, but it's just so unimportant. You can just eat plain rice and it's nice when you're not seeking. It's so unimportant.
Well, coming back to the question of purpose of life and waking up, what do? I have to stop the seeking.
You have to recognize the seeking. So you're not always recognizing when you're seeking. So in every moment you have to recognize when you're seeking, which is creating identity. So this story of wanting the best of everything is seeking. That's not a pleasure thing. That's not a biological thing. But there is an element of biology to it, but it's like that big. The other bit is that big.
So I am seeking this for what? Completion of me.
Yeah, but it's an unconscious process, an unconscious movement.
So
most people here, not everyone, but most people here are seeking, and they really don't think they're seeking. And no matter how much I bring this subject up, they're like, that doesn't mean anything to me. That's for the others. And I'm like, no. Honestly, you're seeking. Like just in talking to someone, I can feel they're seeking.
Can you give
and I can be like, zoom. I can feel it because it's like I can feel and see all your seeking.
Can you give another
example? I can
example?
see it in your face, in your shoulders, in the tone of your voice, in the quickness of the way you speak.
Can you
in
give
the movements.
Can you give another example? Another example in routine life.
Is like the rev, like on the bike, like.
You mean to say we have to walk slowly, sort of, not go on a bike?
The energy does relax a lot, but sometimes when you go through the process, you do get periods of ecstasy where you're just like, you can't stop dancing. So that's slightly...
In routine life, is there another example of this seeking which gets mixed up in routine life for us, like people are unable to understand?
So much. Just the way in which people hold their face. Like, honestly, my face, and I've noticed this with people that wake up, their face changes. Their face changes. I got a facelift. My eyes went up and my lips went up. I was really surprised.
Natural facelift.
Yeah, natural facelift. I mean, now I'm getting a lot older, but like when I was younger, my face was still more upwards. It was very obvious. I was shocked.
Some other examples, like for a seeker, not for the enlightened.
Yeah,
like
the rest of like just the way you move your body, like the way the body moves. I mean, obviously, if you've got injury, but it's like the hardness in people. I mean, sometimes it's through chained energy. You know, if you wake up when you're 60, then the body might not be able to relax that much. But yeah, the way people hold their faces, the tones of people's voices. And you think I can't see it. And I sit there and I play nice, pretending I can't see it, looking away, trying to block my ears. Not all the time block my ears, but sometimes when someone's really suffering, the tone of their voice is painful.
So how do I stop that seeking part? I mean, to be. When I'm not even able to differentiate the seeking from pleasure. I mean, it's stupid, right?
No.
As a seeker for 36 years.
You just have to pay attention. Okay. You just have to pay attention. To what's happening in every moment. And then you'll see it. You just have to pay attention. And it'll become so obvious. And when that happens, there will be a lot of pain that comes out of the body. That's the Kundalini process, you know, when people are like... Ugh.
This moment, I am sort of in the now. I am conscious of what's happening. So am I seeking, or is it what's happening to me now? I'm not able to understand that part. And that appears to be a secret. Am I seeking now?
Yes.
What am I seeking?
You really want me to say it?
Yeah,
okay.
That's why I've come here, right?
Okay.
I don't mind, you talking to anybody. I don't have that shame on me, right? You can rip me apart.
I agree.
That's why you've come here.
Yeah, no, I agree. You've
in
got
the tiger's mouth. You're not biting me off.
Yeah, you haven't got this shame part. A lot of people have shame, and the Lango, no.
Shameless.
And that's, yes.
Yeah.
That's a really sweet and endearing quality there. Is this like, all of it comes out. That's a certain amount of freedom.
I've come here to die, right? Psychologically. So everything is worth the dice.
Okay, so what are you seeking now?
Give it to me.
Give it to me. Well, the main thing that you're seeking is love. There's the main seeking. But the other is this this energy which might be to do with love, of wanting to get what it wants, which might be about love, like trying to get love. You know, so like having the best of the best. That can be like...
That's the animal.
That's the animal.
Animal, the lion kills.
Yeah. But it only kills enough for what it needs to eat in that moment.
The human being hoards.
Holds a lot. And that, I mean, like we do have these brains. I'm not saying that we don't keep money in the bank, but it's like you really don't need the best of the best.
But we all do it. We all have our own voter ID, separate passports and bank accounts, all of us.
Yeah, but it's
Where's the limit? Where's the yellow line?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you now, what is the seeking part in me now? I've come here to learn from
your main one is wanting love.
Well, that's good, no? That's not a seeking.
No, that's seeking.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Your book is for the love of everything.
Yeah.
And then when going for love, why do you say it's seeking?
Because when you know what you are, then you're just love.
Okay.
And
so how do I cut
contented in
it?
yourself.
I understand. How do I cut that love and become love?
You just have to pay attention and watch and notice when you're doing it. So when you're interacting with someone and trying to get love from them, notice it. You can feel it. If you pay attention to your body, you'll feel it. It's just paying attention.
So when I'm talking...
It's an element of waking up. It's not the total waking up, but it's an element of beginning to wake up. Then you wake up so much, you pay attention so much, you disappear. And then there's nothing left. But you have to go through these stages because those energies are what keep you asleep and in this imaginary timeline of you. So and this is what happened with me and Roger. This is why I said yesterday or the day before, like he destroyed me. Like he just pointed this out again and again from the way I walked, from what I ate. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to know.
He did a good job.
He did an amazing job. He's a perfectionist. He was like on it.
So is it that why we had ashrams in India where you live with the guru? I mean, you lived with him, right?
Yeah.
And we don't, you don't have an ashram, and I mean, that's the ideal thing to do, where the guru destroys.
I think for some people it can be really traumatic if it doesn't work out. Like imagine if it didn't work out with me and Roger. That was like really painful. Not all the time, but really painful process to go through. So, you know, there's all these different things. And a lot of people don't trust the madness of the guru. You know, like they begin to like not trust, so they can't really go through the process of it. And then there are teachers that are doing it for power or money.
So I'm here seeking love from you, not teaching. That's what you say when I'm seeking with you, as I'm sitting down.
Well, it goes in and out, but yeah, your main thing is seeking love.
And I want it through a process of teaching and enlightenment from the guru. The secondary part. The primary part is love, I want.
You want it from... I mean, this is why it's hard with the guru, because part of the way you want it is by being smart. Like, so smarter than. Like, it's not that you're trying to be smarter than me, but it's like there's an element that wants to stay in this mental realm. And that's all about love, you know. That's the way you got appreciated as a kid. You know, it's like staying in this mental realm with me. You've also actually, when you look in my eyes, there's something that goes really deep as well. There's something that like really collapses, but there's this other addiction to the mind and to the thinking. And that's why the wanting of love is strong, because when you have a very strong up here, you feel more an absence of love.
So what is love then to you?
So love is everything.
Not this feeling of happiness,
No.
not that, not the bliss.
No, it's everything, which has to be joined with its lover, which is nothing, emptiness.
It's a post-enlightenment state, correct? Where you disappear. That's love. That's the love you're talking about. Oneness.
Where you're not separate from things, yes.
Enlightenment.
So in every action, it has to be noticed, you know, from the way you speak, the way you do your laundry, the reactions that you have to people. It's just paying attention. Just paying attention. And then eventually everything will get so thin, then you will disappear in in it.
Is there a take-home message for me, like from Rishikesh? What do I do in routine life?
Just pay attention.
Pay attention to the present moment, as to what's
everything
happening.
that's happening, yeah. Just notice. But not notice where you're beating yourself up if you don't. Because that's not, it's just paying attention.
The witness state, what Osho talks a lot about.
Yeah, Nisargadatta Maharaj speaks a lot about
Witness?
witnessing. Yeah, there's a process of witnessing, yeah, that happens. So love cannot give you it. Love in the world cannot give you it. Appreciation, the nice food, the nicer things, the comfort, it cannot give you that. Thanks, Lingo. Just your little microphone. Thank you. Hey.
So this is quite evident, but there's still this movement in the identity which is on the same lines as seeking love. It's almost like this cold wound. It's like looking for love but not wanting love. It's always this like creates this identity out of this push and pull.
Yeah. I think maybe you have to do this as well for the others.
Yeah. So I see a lot of identity coming up because of that, this push and pull.
So you seek for love, but at the same time you don't want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it?
It's almost like fear of rejection.
Yeah. Yeah. So the way Roger taught me is that there's two movements. So a movement towards pleasure is at the core of it wanting love, and the movement away from pain at the core of it is wanting to avoid fear or pain, death.
Yeah.
So you've got these two movements that are happening.
Yeah, death is a topic that keeps coming up, but it's so subtle because it almost like that energy knows that if it's gonna come full on,
Yeah.
then I'll be able to feel it and give it space,
Yeah.
and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
So it likes to stay hidden.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And before there was this seeking of going to that edge, but now the seeking is dropping as well. There's this knowing that settling in, as the seeker is settling in, that's going to happen when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not something that the seeker can do.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
The only thing is just paying attention. But that's such a deep thing to say, to pay attention, because what is paying attention? Like, so, yeah. So just say that, but also knowing, like if you explore what paying attention is, that's an incredibly deep thing. Like in a way we could say, all there is attention, like all there is consciousness. But then it seems that this personal attention gets very lost in dreams. So often people think that paying attention is bringing that one back to the moment. And that's part of it, like that's part of the process. But actually, that's part of the dream. So there's another deeper paying attention where there's something that's watching that, which isn't a movement in any way.
Yeah, yeah. And in spaces like this, it becomes quite evident, like it's here.
Yeah.
And it's and the mind, like the thinking mind, can't even claim that that's me, because it can't claim that. And that cannot claim itself. It's just like evident. It's just like self-evident.
Yeah.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And every movement of the mind and the body is seen in it. And what's been coming up of late is this needing love and attention.
Yeah. And the fear of rejection, do you know where that is in the body? Where that appears?
Of late, the fear has been in the belly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very recently that started to soften, that the attention can drop in deeper.
Yeah. Sometimes that fear can be shame. I don't know if that's the case, but you can explore it, like a shame of being seen, like you know that story I told yesterday about Adam and Eve being, like Eve eating the apple of knowledge and being chucked out of Eden. It's like when you're in love, it's like real nakedness. Like, so with Ananda Mahima, like I just so in love with Ananda Mahima. Like when you listen to descriptions of her, she was like a child. She wasn't like an enlightened person. She was like this innocent child, you know, and it wasn't like what people expect. And the reason that is because there was no defense there. There was no ego there that was trying to be something. She was just really authentically being herself in every moment, not even trying to. It just came out. Like she would be crying one moment, then laughing the next moment. You know, it's like this authenticity. And so sometimes when we have fear of of love, it's because we're afraid of being seen. Or you could say afraid of being without the ego, without the one that's controlling the self-image. So it's just bringing attention to that, whatever attention is, like bringing it into thought and into experience. Like, am I ashamed of being seen now? Like if someone sees me, will they reject me? And then it's this whole good and bad thing. We're so obsessed with that in the mind. Am I good enough or not good enough? Like a good person as opposed to a bad person.
Yeah, that was the main theme growing up, was being hyper vigilant of my environment, constantly scanning as in relation to me, the identity that, am I good enough or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And not getting that validation from anywhere.
Yeah.
Shame is also something that I don't have access to. It's not a visceral feeling in the body like grief and anger. It shows up, grief and anger shows up viscerally in the body.
Yeah.
Shame doesn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to access that. I can only keep giving it
Tension,
space.
yeah. That's it. And the feeling to it, or the thought to it, is like I'm bad. Like that's what shame is, like I'm bad. I'm not good enough, basically. Which is totally untrue.
Well, wouldn't that validate the identity if when the identity says, or that energy says that I'm not good enough, and let's say I become the parent and say, no, you are love, you are good enough, would that not enforce that identity?
It's all processes. So eventually you have to chuck that practice out. But for a period of parenting yourself, it can be really beautiful. Yeah. And can relax that energy. But then eventually that has to be let go of too. It's like these processes. So you go through processes of incorporating elements of the ego, like making it more healthy and more loved and more balanced. And then the thinner and thinner it gets, then you begin to drop in the gaps between the ego. Like you begin to fall beyond it. So I think these are beautiful processes, but always an openness that you're never, in the phenomenal world, you're never at an end point, and you're never going to get to an end point. The end point is right here. So any practice that you're using is only temporary. Otherwise it becomes something for the ego and something for you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something else I'm noticing as well, that all the practices are falling away. It's like coming down to just simply sitting.
Yeah.
And just letting anything and everything be.
Yeah.
In that sitting. And that feels really relaxing. It's almost like letting go.
Yeah.
Because anything else feels like a movement of the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was in the Buddhist organization, we used to have all these different meditations. And one we used to have called Just Sitting.
Yeah.
This ended up being my favorite. You just had to sit there. Just sitting. But it was like a whole practice, and you had your bell, and then you just sat. Yeah. And this also has its place and time, I spent many years doing the Vipassana and the breath and the metta bhavana, and then there comes a point where you're just sitting and letting the stuff work its way out. Because even the undoing of you is always being done by itself. It feels like it's you while you're doing it, but it's being done by itself. The person is always trying to catch up and fear it's doing it wrong, but that's part of it. That's part of the breaking down. And that's relevant in those processes. I wouldn't have meditated for 5 years intensively if it wasn't for the fear that I was doing it wrong, or the fear that if I didn't do it, I wouldn't get somewhere. And it had a phenomenal effect. But then eventually, that rigidity had to be let go. That, a lot of those philosophies, until we're left with nothing, until we're prepared to really give it all up. And that's not even us, it's an energy that comes about. It's grace.
Yeah, that's quite clear. I can't find me, so it has to. It comes up like a movement in the consciousness. It's just pure energy.
Yeah.
But even then, you can't put a finger on it. It's just there in the moment, and it just goes away.
Yeah.
also wanted to ask that this doesn't feel like love, like this feels very ordinary. It's like love feels like an overlay quality on it. This feels more empty. That's how it's experienced rather than...
Yeah, specific, different people, different things happen at different times. So eventually that emptiness meets the lover, which is everything. And then it won't be like a love, like falling in love. It will be this gentle, like feeling at home. And then love and bliss will come and go in the body. Like often when you're at home, then the body experiences lots of nice feelings, but those come and go. Then it's this gentle homeness. But the homeness can only be known when they both meet, when emptiness meets everything. That this is happening and not, that you're alive and not. That this is totally empty.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just be careful when you lean forward, because you'll get in. It'll get you. Then you'll be on YouTube. But it's such a small channel, no one will know. And I've been dancing like crazy at the Hare Krishna, doing so many weird things. And all of it's being streamed. All of it.
No, it's okay.
It was very sweet actually watching it back, like the Hare Krishna. I don't know how many people realise it's being streamed. It's a good teaching in itself. It's the best. This is one of Harold's like great teaching.
Really? So much. Yeah, I had this, well, many things. I wanted to try out to look in your eyes. This was as I really would like to, not half an hour, but maybe some minutes. This was the first. Second was that yesterday evening I watched, what's his name, Angelo? And then I got in this thing of, I have to talk tomorrow to Lisa, so many questions about that, or some, about this different style of seeing it, this awakening as a more scientific process. And yeah, but maybe I don't know what's now. Now I was so angry that you gave Ilanga so much space. I was like, sorry, please.
You got angry?
It was so much, yeah. I was.
So that would be seeking.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's like everything is just such a gift.
I was so we are all sitting here, we all want this.
Yeah,
and
but
then he's
it's
aggressive.
it's such a gift. Anger is such a gift.
Yes.
Because it's saying like this is what's not true.
Yes.
So.
But if you always say it, it makes me more angry. Yeah, but yeah, I know.
It's a gift. Because it really doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I mean, obviously, like, we're not putting ourselves in titanium or something and, like, putting ourselves in agony or, bending all our joints backwards. But, I mean, like, generally, it just doesn't really matter if me and Alango speak for 30 minutes. That's when the seeking comes up. So then it gives you the opportunity to see what's underneath it.
Yeah.
So what do you think would be underneath that?
Underneath, I have at the moment a topic of also the seeking, like this. Yeah, for sure. What's underneath? Yeah, many feelings. I know many feelings of rage against man, you know, and all these things. I know the story. I have to put them out more, like patriarchy, and I have a lot. And for sure, I'm not here. I'm not here. I'm in the story, and I'm seeking now. I don't know how many thousands of years, you would say.
Yeah.
You know, my whole lifetime, you know, and yeah. So.
You know, I really hear that. So underneath it, at the base of it, is simply wanting love. Like if you had love now, if I put a drop of love in your mouth and you swallowed it and you just felt love, which is at home, feeling at home here, there would be nothing in which you want. There would be nothing, like Elango speaking, like maybe you get out of the room or something, but it wouldn't really, maybe there's a bit of anger because you feel your boundaries being crossed.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think, I'm not sure, yeah, for sure, at the end everything's love, but it's more like this, it's more like finally being love, not getting love.
Yeah.
It's not searching for love. Or maybe, yes, every human has it, but it's more like this. There are all these levels, and sometimes it's there, and sometimes no, and then no. Maybe it's already. Maybe I'm, maybe I am awake. Maybe I am.
Yes, you are.
I am, yeah. No, but maybe in reality, maybe like it's so absurd, and then it's yeah, for sure. And but there's never this totally. I don't know, this click, this really. Or maybe it's there, and I'm just so used to going on, like my story. You don't have to answer. Maybe it's somebody else also wants. But maybe I answer. Oh yeah, I'm confused.
What we know for sure is that you are. Not you, Isabel, but there is this. So I am. And then you say I am confused. We know that the I am is for sure.
Yeah.
So what used to happen between me and Roger, I'm sorry Roger if I keep talking about you online, but he wouldn't have let me away with that. Like he would have kept going until I like really got to the source of what was happening. He would have like grabbed on like no, actually he's more like a ball, he just would keep pacing on. So till you see what is underneath that, like what is happening with clarity. But I felt like as I pushed towards it, like more and more anger was coming up in Isabel. So I just backed off because I was like, I don't want to like push you into that or something.
No, I'm not like this. I did so much work my life,
Yeah.
I know my anger. I love my anger. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all those feelings. It's just no. It's okay. I don't believe I have to release like everything.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Yeah. But what he would have done is he would like have plodded on to look at what was underneath the anger in that moment. And and he would say it comes down to these two categories of avoiding fear or trying to get love. And all that needs to be done is you don't need a new philosophy or you don't need to get somewhere, you just need to recognize it. And that will break it.
Once again.
Forgot. I'm sorry. Sorry. It will be on YouTube. Sorry.
What
I'm
will
just
break
when I
or what?
speak, I'm really like no mind, so I don't know what I'm saying. Like so, it's really.
Okay.
So it's recognizing that in that anger, in the body, you don't need complex theories about it, like why it happened because of this or because of that. Just in that anger, at the source of it, there was a wanting to be at home. You want to be at home.
Yeah, but this is not the point. I know that I want to be home. I didn't need to find it out, you know, like for sure I want to be home and I have all feelings about it. But maybe now the one thing I recognize at the moment, shit, this is on YouTube. I'm a bit like Ilango. Also. Oh, sorry. I don't know. It's like, but for me, the thing is just, I feel like it's so much a lie, so much lying, and you're also a human, and you also like some people and others not. And for me, I just want to know the truth. I know that your source is not lying, Lisa, but that you're also a human person, and you. I don't know. Shit, I really, okay. I don't know what's coming out now, because normally I wanted to talk about the thing with this guy. I forgot his name. Angelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, because maybe, all the story and the way I come from old ages, kind of, you know, like really the seeking of bhakti and not so scientifically. It's more like this grace happens and you can never, and it's not good to want it too much. If you want it too much, then you're again, who wants it, blah, 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 blah. Then let it go, and then some years let it go, and then again, and blah, 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 blah. All this, so much. I also had my personal Raja, you know, in my life. I went so high, so much, so far, and I broke it up. So maybe that was a fault, I don't know. But, you know, like, but at the end, if you see then Angelo, and you see like, yeah, it's possible, totally. You can just do the steps and this, and then you can realize, and then da-da-da. And I find it also fascinating. And I just wanted to talk with you about it, but I don't even know now, because I know that it's at the end, it's a mystery, and I don't want to talk about feelings. I want that you ask me, who are you? And then I say, I'm awake. You know, like, what's happening? Yeah.
I'm sorry what's coming, but Roger's teaching on suffering is phenomenal. And it's so simple. It's so simple.
Yeah, I hear. Want to hear.
So with Angelo is a phenomenal teacher as well, and he also has great clarity in certain areas. He talks a lot about emotions and waking up, and yeah, there's great clarity there, but I don't know it so well the way that Angelo teaches. But Roger, I feel, has got a similarity to Angelo, as in they've got very good minds and good ways of putting things. And you can take either one, but Roger was my teacher, and just it's really simple teaching, but it's really phenomenal with the suffering and the desire part. So for me to say, who are you? Like, I would love it just to be like, who are you? And then you're like, boom, your whole head explodes, and then you're like, I'm nothing.
Yes.
There is no head. Like, boom.
I want this.
And this sometimes very rarely happens, but sometimes. And sometimes it happens and then it goes away again, you know, like there's an experience and then it goes away again. But most of the time in the background, there has to be the recognition of what seeking is, and in your daily life, keep recognizing it. So when Alango does that, it's just okay, that is seeking, and then you put it into one of Roger's 5 categories, you recognize it, and then you discern, this is not true, I don't need to give it thought. That's what's so great about Roger's teaching, because it cuts out a lot of the extra thought. Like, how should I deal with this, or how should I deal with that? It's like you got these 5 categories, and when they arise, you know you're in seeking. It's so simple. Like, I love that about meeting Roger, like the simplicity of it. They all come from doership. And then it's like you just notice that, so you pay attention when those are appearing, and then you say, this isn't true. And then it's like you bat it away, like, just, this isn't true. Like the recognition of it, like, so with Alango, say if it was something like jealousy, that would come under maybe like, jealousy doesn't need to come under suffering.
No, it was anger against patriarchy, against man.
So blame then.
Yeah.
Then it would be blame. So then you're like, not true. I'm not saying there wasn't patriarchy. As a female non-duality teacher, I understand what comes about, and especially like 15 years ago when I started, like now it's a lot more suppressed. Yeah. There's been more of a Me Too movement, but I understand it, and it's not just men. Like the women come often. I get it from women as well. Like it's like a So I'm not saying that, but that is blame. So when you know it's blame, it's not that we don't acknowledge things logically, like there's patriarchy, but when it comes up in us, it's blame, and we're like, not true. You can just leave that. So when and then the emotion keeps coming up, then you notice that the mind is going off on it. You go down to the emotion. So blame might be in the solar plexus area, in the heart area. So it's like, blame, I don't feel good enough. Like, it's your fault, you're making me not feel good enough. And you can go into it, but not much. You don't have to do much mental acrobats about it. Just feel it. Then Roger would recommend giving it a good old massage. So you just massage your body, and you can massage it in different chakra points, because that's a chakra, so you can find that all over your body. Like the heart is definitely there, maybe there as well. I forget my chakra points, but you can look them up. They're so simple. Well, they're not simple, but you can look them up on the internet and learn it. You give yourself a massage in one of these places, and then that's that. And then when it reoccurs, like, boom, not true. And this is Nisargadatta's discernment, discerning. And the goal is just to stay in yourself. And what is yourself? That is that big consciousness. But when your mind is like so caught up in blame and guilt and shame and pride and expectation, it's like this like fireworks into past and future and into imagining. So you just notice discernment, not true. You come back, you do your little bit of massage and stuff, and it might last a couple of days or whatever years it might last. But the goal is this discernment And then more and more holes in reality happen. And then you fall back into that nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
Not true, not true, not true.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the netty. You know, Roger comes from Ramesh. Ramesh comes from Nisargadatta, but they go through these different phenomenal teachings. And Nisargadatta was very much discernment, which means the mind is discerning between illusion and practical thoughts that are needed. Like patriarchy can be a practical thought, but a lot of the time it's blame. Not true. So what is true now? And that is we're here. That is the truth. But often we need this psychological stuff in order to break that. And Roger's teaching is so simple. And Ramesh's teachings, it takes a bit of time to get it, but it's very simple. Here we are. And in the end, what we're left with is just here. Just here. This isness. And Bhakti is super beautiful because the Roger's teaching, it can sometimes be dry, and non-duality can be dry, so Bhakti is like so beautiful as well. Like to have Bhakti. So important. And it's so cool because everything in life is the opportunity. Everything. The beggars on the street. Someone locking you in your room. It's going to happen very easily here. This happened to me the other day. The lunch guy locked me in my room.
You also? You didn't hear about my case?
You got it too.
Yes! 2 days ago I was locked in the night in my room. And I just heard trapping, locked and trapping. And I was like, ah!
Somebody got up and locked
Krishna,
you.
I thought it's
Krishna.
really Krishna. I don't know. And then I was bumping and somebody saved me from the house. Funny.
Yeah, this is why we sing at the end, because Bhakti is so important. You know, non-duality can be a bit dry, even though it's not meant to be. It's so beautiful, but often it can feel a bit dry, I think. Thanks as well. You can just pop it down there for the next person. Hi.
Yay. I'm super nervous, but I wanted to do this. Since 1 year now, I try to let go of everything I identified with, which was maybe the job or the family or friends, this groups, this body. And then I let go more and more. And then I found myself super lost because I felt like there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Like it says, you let go of everything and then you will see what's underneath.
Yeah.
And I just felt empty, like there's
Yeah.
nothing left.
Yeah.
And it just brings so many insecurities, social anxiety.
Yeah.
So the question is how to handle these anxieties.
Yeah.
And if I misunderstood the things of letting go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So where did you get these ideas from? Like how did you come across this idea of letting everything go? Thank you so much. Oh yeah, that's really sweet.
Thank you. It was a feeling. I mean, I felt that I want to change something, and I was in my I felt like I am not myself, so I have to let go to see what I really am, because I was holding so much on my job in this career, and I can do this, and this is so good, but I wasn't really myself.
Yeah.
And then I felt, okay, if I let all this go, I will see what's left.
Yeah. I mean,
I found nothing.
Yeah, that is the tragedy of it, is there's nothing there. Not for just you, everybody. Like when we really get down to ourselves, there is nothing. So it's kind of like that search was, you're searching for something that doesn't exist.
Okay. So I just misunderstood the concept.
No, I think it's all going very well, actually. It's part of the process. It's like the process of like walking through the desert. It's like when you begin to take away all what society's been telling you should be, and you stop striving to get all those pleasure highs, you know, like society said, if you do well at your job, you get a little nugget. If you get money, you get a nugget. If you get your apartment or boyfriend, you get a nugget. When those nuggets begin to not be so readily available, then you begin to actually feel that illusion that you've been living, that seeking, that discomfort. And all the shadow sides begin to come up, the insecurities, the not liking oneself, everything that was being hidden, everything that was being pushed down. And you're not getting your nuggets of pleasure anymore, so it's like, ugh. So this is where bhakti is really important, like to simultaneously do a practice of bhakti, because it is brutal undoing yourself. It's brutal. Like the more that you become aware, like there will be all these shadows that come up that have been suppressed, of not good enough. So you realize you're doing your job because you didn't feel good enough, or you're pleasing your parents because you didn't feel good enough. And then you really have to feel it. And then the whole system gets deregulated from that. It's not that you're doing anything wrong in that, it's part of the process. And you're now currently in the desert where you're not getting your pleasure, but you're getting to see the shadow of the person. Mm-hmm. Like what it was running away from, what it was trying to avoid.
So I feel like I just stop and I just hold on something else and just do something else, but this is also not the right thing to do, right?
I would suggest doing a practice of bhakti. Mm-hmm. So I would suggest carrying on and then holding on to a practice of bhakti.
Okay. And this would also help me with the anxiety?
Yeah.
Because I could not sit here without crying.
Yeah, yeah, totally. It would totally help with anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, so practice, also yoga will help. I mean, all the Indian traditions are just perfect. It's all here for you. Mm-hmm. So yoga will help, but practice of bhakti...
That's what's bringing me to all of this, though.
Yeah. Oh, yoga.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done that one. So bhakti, like singing. But yeah, it is going to be uncomfortable, this part. And there's just got to be trust. And then a realization that you're not going to find yourself because you don't exist. What you are going to find is home, which is beyond that. So, and then a natural path will arise, but it will look very different from this ego path. Mm-hmm. But I would just do something that's evoking of love at the moment as well.
I'm sorry?
Something that's evoking, like a bhakti path, evoking love.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is the right thing to not identify with those things that
Yeah.
are outside, right?
Yeah. But
Because it feels so simple just to jump
Yeah.
and grab something and continue.
Yeah, and continue. Yeah, that is the correct thing. But it gets even more brutal. The one that's saying I shouldn't identify with it is also an identity.
Yes. I'm the one that's not identified with everything of this.
Yeah. So it's like you keep opening the boxes. You're like, okay, and then finally there's nothing. But then there is a contentment in the nothingness. You know, where you're still opening the boxes, you're still looking for something. And then it's like all that looking goes, and then you remain as yourself. And yourself has never left you. So while you feel abandoned, and while you feel lost, and while you feel like you can't find the right path, yourself has never left you. It's always been there. It's that which is looking out of the eyes now. Yeah. And yourself is totally free. And that's God, that's home. It's there. It's just the focus has been on the material, on the form.
Okay.
And the fact that this happened and you were doing a yoga practice before, it's like it's just perfect. It's because when you were moving the body and doing the yoga practice, what you didn't realize is you're actually undoing your mind as well. So naturally, you'll have got to that conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
It just wasn't, you maybe weren't thinking about it so much at first, it was more about the movements, but the movements were undoing the thoughts, because the thoughts and the body are the same thing. It goes even deeper than that. The body and the world are the same thing. So you're actually undoing the world. But we just start with these stepping stones. And you can re-watch what I said on YouTube, because I'm speaking a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
May I come up with a question?
Yeah, you can come up with a question. We just got 5 minutes left.
Okay. So I need this. Oh my God. So thank you very much for the topic today, because some time ago I was like, I started to question my vocation for this path, because I was told what I really want, if I still have some investment in the world and these things. And from the time on, there comes questions, because I have like a garden now, or yes, it's an abandoned orchard, and I have lots of thoughts about it, how it will be nice to make this or that, and I question like, oh, so maybe there's seeking in that, right? But when I realize, oh my God, it's just a seeking of a love, actually, because beauty comes, and I will be my projection of myself in the place. But when it's realized, there comes some kind of like a dropping, because realization, no, it cannot bring me anything which is not here now, actually.
No.
And a relaxation comes with it, and dropping this idea, because it's just an idea.
Yeah. And in that idea, if you practically added it out, it will be pleasure and pain. So you'll make something beautiful, but in making something beautiful, it will equally be painful.
Yes.
So it will never be that dream of like,
Yeah.
The is now.
Yeah.
So in a way, it doesn't matter if that happens or doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't do it or do it.
Yes.
It's just that it will be pleasure and
Yes.
pain. Nothing will. You'll rarely find something that's more pleasure than pain. You know,
Yeah.
the natural balance is for them to be equal.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So it comes to the now again.
And that dream, that fantasy that will bring you the you're actually touching the but you're touching it in imagination. You just got to re-own it as your now.
Yes. And this is the same with trying to repeat the pleasures. For example, there is a new cafe I discovered, or new place where I feel so good, and the next day there is a tendency to go there again because projection. Oh, let's experience the same. It's never the same because it happened spontaneously in the now. So there will be another. This cannot be repeated, right?
No,
So this is actually very nice.
Yeah, it is.
Because then it becomes adventure somehow.
Yeah.
In the openness.
Yeah. It's so deeply relaxing. Everything that you project in the future as it is this.
Yes. Yes.
So your mind is splitting off yourself and putting a bit of your true home in the future, whereas you just need to bring it home.
Yes, sure, yeah.
So what I did when I was a child, I accidentally did some tantric meditation. I didn't know I was doing it. So I used to do this thing where I put on my mum's headphones, and then I would put on her romantic music, and I would imagine either a mom or a dad really loving me, or as I got older, a boyfriend, a girlfriend really loving me. And then I would imagine the details, and somehow I kind of imagined it so much, I brought it back into myself, and that imagination that I projected out there became me, and then the imagination stopped appearing, and all that was left was love. So I was putting the love outside of myself. When the boyfriend completes me, I will be at home. But then I loved them so much, I brought them into myself, and then I disappeared in that. And then all that was left was love. It's like what they talk about in Tantra and in Bhakti, in some forms of Tantra and Bhakti, of this idolization of a guru or a image. It's like you love it so much that because when you love something, you're splitting yourself off. You're believing it's in this image or in this imagination. And it's actually in you.
Yes.
That which you love out there is always in you.
Yes.
It's always you.
Yes. Yes. And so if I realize, oh my God, it's just another seeking, which is a beautiful point. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Is it really then necessary to look why is the seeking happening? What's underneath? Or because I feel like seeking, it feels like there is no need to even look or discern which of the 5 elements are there, because it's just a tension towards something. Seeking is looking for something. So even this realizing brings me somehow to, it collapses somehow.
If it just collapses, then that's great. If you find that the mind is really getting stuck on it, then there can be more of an exploration.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much, and that's all.
Yeah, pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, now we do some bhakti to counteract all the jnana, or to match the jnana.